even though there's snow in the background, I still have been dying to talk about some of the herbs that we are going to grow this year in our garden. And I think today might be the perfect day to talk about one particular herb that I am definitely growing in my garden this year. There are many plants that you guys can actually plant in your garden that will not only benefit you, but also your pollinator friends, like your honeybees. You guys see I do a lot of beekeeping videos and have been dabbling in showing you more of our garden, but I am kind of connecting all of those dots with our honeybees and garden, and now throw in a slice of herbalism and why the plant is going to be beneficial for you in a medicinal form, as well as why it's good for your homestead, why it's good for your honeybees. And the herb that I am 100% growing in our garden this year is going to be borage. Our good friends over at Hoss Tools sent us some borage seeds, and I am eager to plant them, but I can't plant them quite yet. I have to wait till the last frost and we still have snow on the ground. Once I plant it, I will take you guys along with me and we'll get our hands dirty and do some work in the garden. But in the meantime, this is a perfect time to start talking about why borage is good, not just for you, but also for your bees. Borage is also known as the star flower, and it's in the Borage family, which is related to comfrey, which is another herb that is a must. And I'm sure here in the future, I'll talk about comfrey as well. So borage flowers and the young leaves are edible, and they actually have a mild cucumber taste. The young leaves of borage, they are high in vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, as well as niacin, which niacin can actually lower your cholesterol. Not only can borage be grown to add just a beautiful look to your garden, but it also brings in the pollinators, which is what you want. You want pollinators to come into your garden and help pollinate all of your plants to help them grow. Now, borage is really high in pollen and nectar, and it's actually, I've been reading that some people actually call borage as bee bread. Plan is to direct sow the borage in my raised beds, and I know that it's going to be prolific and I know that they're going to take over. But if you guys have kind of seen my garden plan this year, a lot of my raised beds that I have are going to 100% be for herbs as well as beautiful flowers, and I'm going to be extending our garden over to the other area that we've been documenting and building a fence around. Borage is definitely prolific and will self-seed and come back every year. Me personally, I don't mind if I have a whole garden bed that is going to be specifically for borage, but you can also plant borage with other plants like tomatoes. I even read that there is one gardener, I believe it's the Impatient Gardener, he plants his borage with his tomato plants to prevent hornworm. I think I'm definitely going to try that this year to see if it actually works. Borage also does very well with squash, as it brings in the pollinators to help pollinate. My plan is to definitely grow borage in many places here in my garden because I'd really like to see how well it benefits the other plants as a companion. And I know my girls are gonna love that. I know the bees are just gonna be all over each flower. Here's a few things that I've learned about borage and why I'm so excited to not only grow it for our bees, but also to help benefit our garden and fill my apothecary. So when it comes to borage in a medicinal sense, I just pulled one of our books that I had from up in our apothecary and I'll share it with you guys. This is the Northeast Medicinal Plants. This is by Liz Neves, and she writes about 111 herbs that are wildcrafted that teach you how to identify, what to do with it, and how to harvest, which I think is a very good point because you need to know when to harvest the herb for a medicinal sense. Like, for instance, borage you're going to want to harvest late spring, early summer when it comes to the leaves because that's when they have the most nutrients in it. Now, Liz writes about borage and a couple of different recipes which I wanted to share with you and why it might be the herb for you. Now, not every herb is okay to take. Some herbs you can only take for a short period of time. This is one of them, mainly because it can affect your liver. I will add that borage is a plant that does have pyrrolizidine alkaloids, and it's recommended that anyone with liver issues should avoid using, but note that the oil of borage as well as the flower do not contain the alkaloid. So that is still edible, you can still enjoy those, and again, so can your bees. There's a funny saying to it that we've learned, and that is borage for courage. But borage in a medicinal sense is actually used for nervous exhaustion or adrenal depletion. Borage is one of those plants that is completely uplifting and helps your mood, kind of just gives you that, you know, that extra oomph that you might need to get through the day. And that is another reason why I'm like, okay, we're gonna grow this. We're growing this and we are putting it into our apothecary. Another reason why I picked up Liz's book is because she shares that borage infused honey is actually good for lung irritation. It's good for asthma, it's good for cough, it's good for wheezing, and you can actually take a spoonful of borage infused honey or put it in a cup of warm water and enjoy that. I am most definitely going to be adding that to our apothecary. As a beekeeper, we have quite an abundance of honey that I can most definitely do a borage infused recipe, and I will be sharing that with you guys as well. Borage can also be used externally as a poultice form. You can take that poultice of borage and put it on any wound to help relieve the pain, any wound or irritation. My plan for borage is to not only help our pollinator friends and grow something sweet for my bees, but also to use it to add to our apothecary. I'm very much excited about our 2021 gardening season, as well as my beekeeping and herbalism, as I try to take all of those worlds and combine them together and share with you guys what I'm doing, not just for my bees, but also for our family. And it has been an awesome adventure seeing all of this come to fruition and being able to take my camera with me and share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoy this year, and I hope that you enjoy our garden, and I hope that you enjoy your garden as well. And as always, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn something old.